Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and I hope you brought your snacks because I just finished eating all of mine. Um, so, uh, if you are new, I am Morgan Hazelwood, and this is my Sunday afternoon lazy quote unquote productivity sprint stream where sometimes we're productive, especially if it's November, and sometimes we're less productive depending on where we are. Like if our writing is all out with our um, beta readers right now.
Beta readers and editors, yeah. But
So,
sometimes the attempt at productivity is more successful than others. So.
exactly. So, I've got the one, the only Doc Coleman with me today. Say hello to the nice people.
Hello, nice people.
Someday that will get old, but
Someday
Morgan
that will get.
continues to be easily amused.
Yeah.
So, what are you working on today?
Let's see. Today I am still doing preliminary edits on the Rage of Ragnarok, taking the one long story and breaking up into chapter-sized pieces.
Nice. Okay.
And also giving it a quick look over to see if there's anything that needs tweaking or any notes I need to add to fix later.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I am rearranging my podcast episodes because my audio editor slash brother-in-law was like, hey, so this is a tutorial that requires images. Are you sure you want that on your podcast? So I'm rearranging the order and changing stuff there.
Yeah, you can slip in a video podcast episode into a regular podcast stream. You just should warn the listeners that it's going to happen before you do.
Yeah. So if they would like the video version, they can check out my YouTube vlog or the original blog post that it came from. But I think I'm just going to skip doing it on the podcast itself. The content's out there, but that's just not the right format. So
I mean, you could also just do a quick little sound bite that says, this episode really needs video, so here's where you need to go look for it.
But anyway, so I've got to fix that and then hopefully get a little bit ahead on author spotlight videos and get that blog posts and get that straightened out. So
yeah,
that's what I'm going to be working on today.
So I want to bring up something. I've got a poll out on Twitter.
Ooh.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go down in the notes and look at my Twitter. It's Scalesley on Twitter, and I ran across something from a few years ago after I had just done Key City Steampunk, and a couple of the other authors had said that what I really needed to kick my my writing up to the next level is a good tagline. We kind of brainstormed a few things, and right now what I came up with at the time was, of course, steampunk comedy adventure, and brainstormed with a couple other people at the time, and it was actually my wife that suggested Mad Science, Manners, and Mayhem. So I've got a little poll up on Twitter that's going to run until I think Wednesday as to whether or not I should stick with steampunk comedy adventure, switch over to Mad Science, Manners, and Mayhem, or just like, don't worry about taglines, just shut up and keep writing.
But taglines are fun, and
exactly.
When someone is going around, say, a convention vendor hall, and they're like, so what do you write? Having 3 quick words that conveys the tone and genre is super handy and more likely for people to remember.
Especially if you've got alliteration in there, right?
I mean, all the cool kids like alliteration.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I cross-posted the poll on Facebook, and I already had one person suggests instead of mad science, it should be madness, manners, and mayhem. But
It's
I still
not
like
really madness for the sake of madness, though.
Yeah, it's more mad science.
Yeah, I mean, if it was more chaotic, but I mean, they tend to be aiming for a goal the whole time, you know? So
You were saying?
I was saying I got a chance to hang out with one of my beta readers yesterday, and she said she's loving my story.
Yay!
I got a little excited there. A little excited.
It's always fun when people are loving your story.
And I need to see if she agrees with my first one. So my sister is my alpha reader, and she said that my main character read closer to like 3-4 than 2-3, and the only difference she would have is she does not carry her daughter that much, except in case of emergencies. That kid is holding her hand and walking on their own. So I made those edits, and then a beta reader told me that my character is talking like a 6-year-old, and I'm like, mommy, octo, I want my octopus octi toy. That not really. I don't think so.
Every kid is different.
Some kids are more verbal than others, and I totally get that. So I'm hoping, to settle the score of whether or not my child acts in 3 different ages between behavior and language and things. But I think a 6-year-old would be in complete sentences, and this child is not.
Yeah, I think you may need to do a market group of parents and caretakers of young children who've got more experience in that area than either of us.
My sister currently has an 18-month-old.
I know this. I know that your sister has experience. I'm just saying that we don't, because we are not child-having people. My children are short and furry.
One moment.
Uno momento.
I am grabbing that shared tweet link and popping it in the comments. That's not what I just copied. Copy link. Paste. There we go. Okay. So popping into the comments.
Yeah.
Mama Maggie is here. Hello and welcome. She will be skipping out before 5 p.m. to join writer Sam Wicker's character randomizer pollinator stream. Mine was scheduled first. But thank you for swinging by. It's always great to see you. Andy says that he's working on his Worldcon notes and revisions and is all for manners, mad science, and mayhem. So, yes, I am prepping for Worldcon. We will not be here next week unless Doc wants to do it himself.
That seems somehow rude to do your stream without you. So
because I will be at Worldcon attempting to attend 84 panels in 36 time slots. As 21 of them are purely virtual, I'm sure I can watch those on reruns. That means I only need to trim down my hopeful schedule by 31 items by Friday. Not including, of course, anything that I can listen to from home on Thursday before I head out.
I would say you really do go overboard when it comes to cons, don't you?
Overboard? I don't understand.
Exactly.
How many hangovers do you hear me complaining about?
I don't think I've ever heard you complain about hangovers. I do, however, remember you being late to a few early morning panels.
Well, I mean, why schedule anything before 9:30? I don't show up for my day job before 9:30.
This is true.
So, I am very fortunate to be... Oh, we're both wearing our Balticon shirts today.
Yes, we are.
Which is where we met.
I've got 56. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Berserkers will volunteer for t-shirt. Super soft, but look, see.
Yep.
And apparently, our art director has been alternating whether Berserker is spelled with an S or a Z for over a decade, and nobody's called her on it.
That's funny.
I was like, what is our
The Berserkers themselves don't care. They just want the free T-shirt. No.
I'm just saying, as social media and publicity, occasionally I have questions like, what does our style guide say? I'm creating a style guide. I would like to standardize.
We don't need no stinking style guide. No.
So I know that quote so well. I do not remember where it came from. I know it's badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
It's Blazing Saddles.
Okay. But my dad might quote it quite regularly. So.
Yep. No, it's from Blazing Saddles when the bad guys are deputizing more bad guys so that they can overrun the town, and they have a group of Mexican outlaws there who say famously, "Badges? We don't need no stinking badges."
Excellent. Okay. And Kelly swung by, and if y'all were interested in Doc's poll, I tossed it into the chat, so okay. Check that out. So yeah. Anything exciting this week?
Oh, no, nothing exciting this week. The pressure has lessened a bit at the day job, and
really?
Well, the week before we passed 2 deadlines. No, actually 3 deadlines out of the big 4 things that we've got to do. So I only have a couple left. I've just I'm dealing with a little bit of a side effect. I was on some antibiotics, and apparently one of the side effects is a rash. With a little bit of a side effect. Yeah, so I've been a little itchy, but it's getting better now.
I got visited by some bug bites yesterday. So why is it they always itch more in the morning?
I didn't know.
Is it because you get all warm and cozy under the blankets, and then the heat makes it itch more?
Entirely possible. I know that I went to take a Epsom salts bath when I first really noticed it, and as soon as I got in the hot water, my legs and ankles were like on fire, with itching. So
apparently, mosquito bites infamously itch more at night. Because your cortisone level is higher at night in the morning, and because we're less distracted as we wind down and try to fall asleep. Maybe it's because I was rolling over, and most people don't always get a rollover when they have bug bites and go back to sleep.
Don't know. But it's an interesting question. It may have something to do with changes in circulation as you get ready to sleep.
So true. Andy would like to vouch for that. I'm slightly off on what he's vouching for.
I think the idea that it itches more when you're getting ready to go to sleep at night.
Okay. Oh, and Kelly swung by. Hello and welcome. So, do you think it's time?
Well, unless the chat has something else that they'd like us to talk about, we could probably go ahead and dive into a productivity sprint.
Yes. Andy says mosquito bites specifically are worse at night. I have a friend who's allergic to mosquito bites.
Ugh.
She gets one and her thigh swells like, whoa. Like one bite and the circle is wider than her thigh is from where the swelling.
That's nasty.
It's not her favorite.
Yeah. No. Definitely have to have some kind of bug repellent if you've got that kind of allergy.
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
I mean, is there a point to this if I'm not? Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, hello and welcome. Disco Queen Man is visiting Thailand, and a local gave them tiger balm to help with mosquito bites. Okay, I've never heard it for mosquito bites, but that's pretty awesome. I know people who use it for like joint inflammation, so that makes sense.
Huh.
I don't have any of that. I have some arnica.
See, arnica I would do, but I don't know.
I don't know. But let's go ahead and get some productivity in.
Alrighty.
In a 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, wait. Wrong button.
Wrong button.
There we go. Let's try that again.
There we go.
I'm a professional.
We can all tell, right?
Sorry. And we're back. Okay, we'll give Doc one moment. For me, sorry about that. I was maybe looking at pictures on the internet, and one of the pictures had audio that I was not expecting. So let's see. So many yawns. I see in the comments that Kelly said he's going to be completing his novelette this stream. So I hope that's off to a good start. That sounds pretty promising. I found out that my audio editor had, in fact, when we discussed the podcast that needed to be cut from the season, it was actually the last one in the season. So no renumbering required.
Nice.
So I did a celebratory perusal of Facebook, and then I started my weekly roundup.
Cool.
So
let's see. I got through 2,218 words.
Nice.
Most of what I was doing was actually cutting out words and simplifying phrases.
Okay.
But I finish one chapter and set up the next one. The next one's going to be a bit long. I may have to split another scene.
It happens.
Yeah.
What do you consider long?
Well, I try to keep my chapters between 2,500 and 5,000 words, but usually aiming to be around 3,500 words and if there's no more cutting, this one is basically 2 scenes that together are 4,289 words.
Okay.
So it's on the longest side, but the first scene is like 1,000 words. So
Right.
Yeah. If I can split the second scene, then maybe it'll be a little bit more reasonable.
Right. Yeah. The more I write, the harder I find out it really is to get those chapter endings in the right spot.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have plenty of times to go through and rethink them, and
Yeah.
and sometimes you go back and look at something and say it's like, oh, well, this section really needs to be expanded, so that's going to be a chapter on its own.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I've had certain reviewers that keep going to the sections where I'm telling and not showing and saying, oh, show me this, you must show these.
They're good at calling you on your BS.
No, they just want to see stuff. and
or
sometimes
they want to
the
prove
right
they want to prove their worth. They know that that's a thing you're supposed to tell writers, and if they can find you not doing it.
Well, you need to have a proper balance of show and tell. Some things you tell, some things you show. And sometimes they point to something where you're telling and they say, you really should show that because it should be shown. And sometimes it's just, oh, I want to see that.
Right. Oh, I want to see that are so much nicer.
Yeah, well, they're so much nicer because you can ignore those bits and move on with your story.
Oh, I just meant they're so much nicer because it means that the reader wants to know more and is asking in a way that isn't like, I know more than you do.
Yeah.
Which is legitimately not a bad thing. It's fine to point out, hey, you're showing it or telling instead of showing again.
Yeah, but sometimes you end up telling instead of showing just to keep the pace of something, and doing the showing just slows things way down.
Right. Yeah. Like you don't have to show every bathroom break and, how long it takes to cook dinner.
Unless it's a really different kind of book, you really don't want to show the bathroom breaks. No.
I mean, you can mention that they happened, but, unless there was an incident with wiping and poison ivy or something.
Interesting paper we've got here. What's it made out of? We make it out of local ivies.
Or I'm used to using ivy back home, and the locals told me this is a strain of ivy.
Yeah. This is all bad.
But why did they say not to touch it? Ivy's totally good for this.
Really.
Womp womp.
In the castle, we just used to open the window, reach out, and grab a full handful to life. No. We're creating a really disgusting.
So anyway, Kelly got 169 words out of 1,500, I guess, edited or added. I'm not really sure what the goal is.
Sounds like Kelly's writing a short story. Right. Kelly told us what he was doing.
Yeah, he said he was completing the novelette, but I wasn't sure if that was editing or writing. So.
But no.
So yeah. I don't have anything else thrilling and exciting. I'm just more tired than I thought I was.
Have you been pushing it for a while?
I had some people over yesterday, and it was hot, and it was a long day, and
yeah, I did not have anyone over. I watched as all my friends went off to the Maryland Renaissance Festival, and I didn't go. So and now it's like really hard to go because the festival sold out.
Sold out? I thought it was just multi-day passes were sold out.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. All the multi-day passes were sold out.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it used to be that you went for the multi-day passes because then you had flexibility in when you went. And a lot of times the single day passes would sell out on particular days.
Yeah.
So
but they're trying to cap attendance because of COVID restrictions.
They're capping attendance because of the pandemic. But I get the feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot of completely sold out days this season.
Yeah. I need to get my tickets if I'm planning on going. So I need to lock that in soon. So, Kelly clarified. He added 169 words, and he's trying to add 1,500 to the novelette.
Okay. But right now I'm just planning on going the one day that I'm doing the signing at Maryland, and that's September 24th. So.
Is that an event weekend?
They're kind of all event weekends. I should really look up which event weekend it is, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Let me pull up rainfest.com. Let's see. I know there's always unofficial weekends. I don't know.
Right. Okay, so Myth and Magic is the 24th, 25th, celebrating myths and legends of the British Isles and magical special magical performances.
Okay.
So, but it's not one of the ASL days. That's the September 10th and October 9th. So.
Yeah, Andy, if you haven't bought tickets yet, you should probably do that next break. Is try to buy your tickets for the 24th. Before they're gone.
Dun, dun, dun. I hope the revisions were going well, though. Getting stuck in them usually means they're going well, but not always.
Yeah. I have a cat tucked up next to me.
As well you should. I mean, cat. My cat did not do amazing with people over at my house, unfortunately. Also, I think I need to put a note before having people over to my house saying, please do not touch my cat. Do not pick him up. Do not try to pet him. He can sniff your hand. You can play with him by throwing things for him to chase. Do not touch my cat.
Okay, he does not react well to people attempting to touch him.
Yeah, there was a child scratched, and two adults. One of which I think he got a tear duct. It wasn't great.
Ooh.
It was not great. Do not pick up my cat, especially when there's a lot of people and he's stressed out in the first place.
Yeah. Not everybody's good about judging what a cat is gonna.
And you're used to cats that are less aggressive than mine.
Yeah.
Like I can keep his aggression in check most of the time, but he takes special handling, and I don't go around willy-nilly picking him up. I don't pet him unless he is settled in my lap, other than one or two pats here and there. Most, I extend my hand, let him sniff it, maybe nibble it a little, wander off. He's not really, unless he invites it. My cat has clear boundaries. So he got tossed in the back bedroom until the craziness died down a little. And the small children stopped running. Floop, 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 floop.
Yeah, the small children should not run. Floop, 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 floop. That's what the cat does.
I mean, obviously. So, anyway, I feel bad, but also, why are you touching my cat? So, anyway.
Key was commenting that some cats will chase small children who run back and forth. So
yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and do another sprint.
Okay. Let's reset the timer.
The timer is reset. Are we ready? In a 3, 2, 1, boom. And I click the right thing. Haha. we're back. How was your sprint?
Pretty good. It looks like I went through 3,319 words.
Nice.
So that was a good chunk of production. Productivity. Still mostly going through and pulling out some words and changing words around to reduce some duplicates. But it's kind of funny. It's like I'm making the manuscript smaller at this point.
Sometimes that's progress.
Yep, sometimes that's progress.
So How
was your sprint?
I got the blurbs for all the books I read this week and the new authors or new books by previously spotlighted authors up on here. I just need to pop in the pictures, figure out what my picture for the week is, and then Friday's blog roundup will go out retroactively.
Oh, the blog roundup hasn't gone out yet. Oh.
Yeah. As long as it goes out before my author spotlight the next week and after the email newsletter roundup goes out, we're good. Because I think this should be the last thing on the email roundup, not the first thing before you actually see the post. So anyway, it's
probably a good idea.
As long as it goes out afternoon on Friday and before 9 a.m. on Tuesday, I'm good. But I do usually post date it to the Friday. So, confessions from a blogger.
Yeah.
My other stuff, I'm really good about timing, but this is, more of a, hey, I've been doing a lot of stuff. So in case the algorithms hid it from you, here's the roundup.
Yeah.
So I see we got some people.
We got some new people.
Hello, Tupper Hunter. Hello and welcome. And Carrie swung by. Hello. Carrie is at work, but working on their bullet journal for the coming month. I love people who can really make bullet journals work for them. I dream of it, and then I reprioritize, and I get upset that I can't just click and drag, and that's why I use Trello.
Yeah. Everyone that I've known that has used a bullet journal seems to really enjoy the process of laying it out.
Right. Yes. A lot of them are either very artistic or they really need that visual component to plan their coming month. And that really helps them set up and feel prepared.
Yep.
So I am not the target audience. Kelly got another 370 words added to his novelette.
Nice.
Nicely done. Kelly says, I think I am slow with this. I've no clear vision or inspiration, and I'm doing a little too much for verifying for details. Well, some days you're not feeling it, but as long as you're making progress that you don't think is trash, doesn't matter if it's going slow.
Yeah, I've always been a big one for leaving off verifying the details for the first draft, or sorry, the second draft. So first draft, I just write down the way I think it should be, and second draft, then I have to go back and actually figure out, did I get it right? I've had good luck so far.
That's awesome. But I think it also depends on the type of person you are, because some people enjoy that research rabbit hole as part of their process. So
yeah, as long as it's part of your process and not a roadblock to your process. So
yeah. But if it's the part that excites you and makes you keep coming back, so
then you should probably write gaming supplements.
And hello, Bobacus. Hello and welcome. We're just doing some productivities, eating some snacks. What snack do you have today, Doc?
I actually have been doing late snacking because someone has moved my snacking table away from me.
Oh no! Fist. Shake the fist.
I've got oatmeal cream cakes.
Oh, nice.
A couple of these, and I've also got some Utz Party Mix, but it's now further away. further away.
Gotcha.
So.
I had my snack before the stream for once. I had chips and
Thank you.
Tostitos version of queso. Classic party mix there.
Yep.
So, but I might dig into, I have some pluots over there that need to get eaten, so I might eat one during the next sprint. So, Kelly popped into the comments and says, the previous chapter I had in my head, and that one went faster. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Some chapters are, you know.
I was to say some books are like that.
Some chapters are more focused than others, just
Mm-hmm.
like some writers are more focused than others. And, you know, sometimes you're along for the journey, and sometimes you're like, oh my God, just tell me what happens.
Yeah. And I have to admit, when I sat down and wrote Perils, it was a case of, you know, I pretty much had the story in my head. I just had to write it down. But when I went to do Kindred of Kali, it was like, I know where it starts. I know where it ends. I have no idea what happens in the middle.
I mean, neither does his lordship.
Well, this is true too. But that was definitely very fits and starts in order to get it done. But when I got down to writing the first draft of Rage of Ragnarok, I don't know. I
raged against the machine.
I got into a groove where it was like I didn't necessarily know what was going on, but I knew what was next. I didn't know where next was going. I just knew what was next. So I was able to get a lot of words out quickly.
Hey, you know, as
Every
they
story
say,
is different.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. As they say, once you figure out your process, you figured out your process for that book, for that month in your life. If the process stops working for you, change the process, because you're the one who gets to dictate it and you're the one it serves. And if it no longer serves you, it's okay. Even if it normally, you've always done it this way and it's always worked. Sometimes it stops working and you got to switch it up.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think I spent some time in 2021 trying to finish my space fantasy with voice to text, and I made some good progress, and some of those scenes still exist in some form or other. But part of the reason the book wasn't progressing was because it had wandered too far off course. So sometimes, the story's fighting you because you're going the wrong direction.
Was that in the version where you were getting into tax evasion and things like that? Yeah.
It was indeed. School field trips and tax evasion.
Yeah.
Which just wasn't the space fantasy I wanted to tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess one definite advantage in doing kind of semi-pulpy adventures is if you ever get stuck, just think, what's the worst thing that could happen to this character right now? And that's what happened.
So people keep saying that, you need to keep giving them more and more hardships and stuff like that. I'm like, but then how do you get to the finish? That just makes it longer and longer. And I have struggled with things being too long before.
Well, there's a certain point of that, but it's like,
and at some point it feels like you're on your way to the big boss and you just put in rolled a D5 or a D6 and got 3, and you're putting in 3 random encounters. Can I mention the monkey pirates in Moana? Coconut pirates?
The coconut pirates, yeah. But it's one of those things that you're running into troubles, but you're making progress.
Right, which is fine. Yeah. But I mean, if someone could explain to me what purpose that scene served in Moana other than giving us another song and padding for time. If Grandmother had even mentioned them in the beginning, it would have given us something. I think she should have shown more of like the two things that they ended up encountering, like the crab as well, so they would feel less random. And I understand they're working with the mythology of the Maori and all that stuff, but I think plot wise, if we'd mentioned the coconut pirates earlier in the story, they wouldn't have felt so. And have some pirates, and we're done. Sorry, I have feels on that one.
I get that you have feels, and I'm trying to respond off of it from memory, not having watched Moana anytime recently. But what I get out of that scene is a lot of the stuff before has either been Maui doing something or Moana doing something, and that was the scene where they had to work together. That they couldn't get away from these stupid coconut things unless they worked together.
I still think it would have felt less random if Grandma had mentioned it during her story time earlier.
I don't know. Now I've got to go rewatch Moana. So
you're welcome.
Yeah.
We have the power.
Should I be singing? Should I be singing "You're Welcome"?
What can I say except you're welcome? Except for that particular note.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, it is 5:56. I think we have time for another sprint.
Yeah, I think we should probably squeeze another one in.
Okay, let's go ahead and do it. For our newcomers, if you would like to share, please let us know what you're working on today. If not, have a snack, hang out, and lurkers are always welcome. So, I'm gonna share my timer, reset the sucker, and we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom, chaka, chaka, chaka. I know. get it. Go get it. No.
Good sunshine.
Thank you. Yes. And we're back.
Okay. You have a catechist visitation.
He's staring at me. He has not bitten my cheek to get my attention since I dumped a quarter cup of water on him earlier this week. But when he's bored and stands next to me, I am now
You're now somewhat nervous.
a bit anxious. But I thought this way y'all could see my cutie and my pie plate. That's where I had a delicious, amazing apple bourbon pie of my dreams.
I didn't get any apple bourbon pie.
I know.
I also didn't get bit by a cat. So.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
I threw a toy for him, but he didn't fetch it. And I have to reach past him to get his other toys. So we are at an impasse.
Oh, he's loving on you. Now he's chewing on. No.
I mean, he's seeing if I'm tasty and then taking a chomp.
Yep.
So
I will tell you that I love you and that I own you and that I will eat you. No.
For those of you who are new, this is Catechus. He has some level of play aggression that we're working on. And he's 18 months of snuggle pounds. Right. So I switched over laundry and I was about to hit publish when this guy walked across my keyboard.
Ah, lovely.
So popping over to the comments, I see that Andy finished his chapter revision goals for August and is off to call his family and give them flight information so they can cat sit while they're out. I understand.
That sounds important.
Carrie helped you bless me, and apparently so did Kelly.
Yep.
And Cutesy Cat sees my kitty, now sees two kitties.
Yep, there's a Gilly.
So, and Carrie says she has chocolate chip cookies at home, and she's going to have them with a big glass of milk. Hi.
Yep.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll give you some lap snuggles after the stream. So, Cutesy Cat says, yeah, one of my cats has a level of anxiety aggression, random aggression that they're working on, but it's a lot better than when they first got them over a year ago. His is mostly play aggression and people picking him up when he doesn't want to be picked up, apparently, as we learned yesterday. But I've noticed the play aggression has cut significantly down since I got the feel away. It's mama cat pheromones and basically a Glade plug-in, and one of it lasts maybe 3 weeks for me, but his play aggression really starts amping up when it gets low. So but yesterday was a lot of people in and out, and he got pretty riled up, and it did not there were some people bleeding from their face. So
at least it wasn't you, right?
And he got 3 hours in timeout.
Yeah.
So until the small children were gone.
I guess I have been fortunate that I have not had. I have dealt with cats with aggression issues, but none of them have been mine.
I've never had an aggressive cat, and I'm pretty sure it's boredom, but I didn't want to get a second cat, but I might be inching that way because, but there's also he's 18 months. Maybe he's starting to settle down. So
yeah, the only aggressive cat issues I've had to deal with was territorialism when we tried to add a third cat. We had a very old lady cat and a young energetic Maine Coon at the time, and the male Maine Coon kept trying to play with the cranky old cat, and she wouldn't have any of it. So we decided, okay, we'll go to the pound, we'll get a kitten that will, so the Maine Coon will have someone to play with. Except we didn't expect for the fact that the cranky old lady cat was going to say, no, I will tolerate one cat roommate, but not more than that. And she basically tried to beat up the kitten and wouldn't let her use the litter box, and it got bad.
They do suggest having one more litter box than cats, but there's only so many places you can put a litter box, so that gets it challenging.
We had more litter boxes than cats. The issue was that all she had to do was keep following the cat and keep her away from the litter boxes, or attack her if she actually went in one.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's not cool.
We ended up having to rehome the kitten.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So actually, I didn't get a chance to talk about what I got done. I got another 2,350 words gone through and blocked out another chapter.
Nice.
So, and I should not select that so I don't accidentally delete it, because that would be bad.
Okay. So Carrie says that cookies and milk will be a good way to end a weekend of overtime. Oh my goodness. And Cutesy Cat says their cat isn't really play aggression. It comes out when scared or anxious or doesn't want to be touched. Yeah. New rule. You come in my house, you can play with my cat from afar, throw things for chase, etc. Do not pick him up. Do not attempt to pet him. We'll be fine. It's okay. So Carrie is hoping to get a house panther soon, but right now toddlers and cats don't mix. Gonna wait until daughter is older. Some cats can handle the toddler picking them up and dragging them around with like the body dragging on the floor, and some can't. And it's really hard to know what a cat's going to be like in your house.
Yeah. So. Yeah, there's really depends, and it also depends on, sometimes if you get the cat as a kitten, you'll have time to get the kitten adjusted to the situation, but you may also have situations where the toddler doesn't know their own strength, and you don't want them to accidentally hurt the kitten. So it's a balance.
And if cats are very clear about their boundaries, and toddlers are not good at listening to boundaries setting. So Cutesy Cat says, I got identical siblings, hoping they would play with my older cat, who played with a stray and is pretty good at defending himself. And instead, the siblings seem to just dislike Teddy as an interloper or see him as scary. But they're not actually hurting each other. So I haven't rehomed anyone, but it hasn't worked out the way I'd hoped for Teddy.
Yeah.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, Carrie said that during that sprint, they made a list of everything they need for an event at the library, worked out goals for the week, and reached out to a friend about meeting for dinner when they go to the Renaissance Fest in a couple weeks. That's awesome. Cool. Did you already buy your tickets? Because if it's Maryland, we discussed earlier in the stream that multi-day passes are sold out, and other singleton days might be getting close.
Yep. So now I'm curious to know what date you're planning on going to the Renaissance Festival, because I will be there September 24th. I will be doing a book signing at Page After Page.
Dun dun dun.
But yeah, cats can be both surprisingly gregarious and surprisingly territorial, and it's been we've noticed that female cats tend to be much more territorial.
Yeah.
But that's the gender of the cat is no guarantee with regards to that. But,
although I've heard that orange cats are dumb and sweet, so I might try an orange cat or a black cat, because I think another gray and white tabby might prove to be. I've heard have a tendency towards mischievous, and if they rile each other up, that's not really what I'm looking for. So a mellower cat. I know my old cat was black and he was pretty mellow, but he also got to go outside. So I'm going to see if stereotypes hold true for cat coloration and see about that. But I'm not doing it right now. I'm thinking about it. So,
okay.
Carrie already got their tickets, Bestie, and they are going to the Ohio Ren Fest the 10th and 11th for Fantasy Weekend.
Okay. I have not done the Ohio Ren Fest yet. Maybe.
I've only done Wisconsin and Virginia and Maryland.
I haven't done Wisconsin.
My dad lived in Chicago for a decade, and it's on the border. Like the road to the fair at that time was the borderline between Illinois and Wisconsin. So for Cutesy Cat, it's the male cat of the siblings that's the most territorial, and agreed that the orange and white cat they had that was the stray was the one that would play with Teddy, that they had once they got used to each other. So
that's true. For all cats, there is a certain period where they have to get used to each other. You almost never have cats that are introduced to each other and get along with each other right off the bat. But almost never.
Mage and Thunder did.
This is, well, that might have been because Mage could smell thunder and know that it was his grandson. But we had two cats from the same breeder. So are you going to bring up another comment?
Sorry.
It's your screen. No.
I know. Okay. So Carrie said that this is their first time going to Orff. They went to the Great Lakes one last year in northern Ohio, and Orff is near Dayton in western Ohio.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we had looked at doing a big trip and going out and trying to hit some of the Midwest Renaissance festivals. Actually, we were planning it for this year, but pandemic happened and didn't go away. So
yeah,
so much for that. Things to look forward to in the after times. If we can ever get to the after times.
I'm looking forward to the updated vaccine this fall, since they won't let me get a booster.
Wait, you haven't had any kind of booster?
Oh, no. I've had one or two, but my latest booster was last November, and seeing as how the vaccine is, especially on recent strains, is only effective for keeping you from catching it for about 3 months. The only thing protecting me right now is my mask. The earlier vaccines may be keeping me from getting it badly, but that doesn't mean I'm not catching it and carrying it and sharing it. Yeah. And caring is not always sharing.
Yep.
Cute Cat says the female sibling cat has decided I need cat butt in face.
Yeah, they do that.
They do.
Yeah.
So Anyway, it is 6:32.
Dun dun dun.
Are
Shall we
you
talk?
done for the day? Did you want to do another sprint? Where are you?
Well, I ordered dinner a little while ago, and it should be arriving soon. So
Momentarily.
this is probably a good place to go ahead and call it for me.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me. Tell
You're
people
welcome.
where they can find you and all about you.
All right. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can just look in the show notes down below, and that'll have links to all my stuff. If you're watching this on Twitch, or if you've seeing this embedded somewhere else some other time, then you can just go to your favorite search engine and search for Doc Coleman Steampunk, and that will help you find my Amazon author page. You'll find my webpage at doccoleman.com. Yep, dinner's here. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm in the middle of considering a bit of a branding change up. So I've got a poll that's on Twitter right now, and Morgan shared the link in the chat earlier, so you can scroll back up the chat and find that. And that's me. That's where I am. You can,
or just look up your Twitter.
Or you can look up my Twitter. It's I'm Scalesley on Twitter. That's spelled Scales, Lea. Should be relatively easy to find. But that's it. That's me. I'm doing my stuff.
Awesome. And I'm Morgan Hazelwood. I do live streams every Sunday, except next week when I will be in Chicago for WorldCon, otherwise known as ChiCon 8. And I will be talking about, oh my goodness, all the things, a lot of podcasting stuff specifically. So I will, let me glance and see what I'm talking about next week. Literally closed the roundup moments ago, where it had it in front of me. So I will be talking about live streaming for beginners and mental health and con running, legal considerations for podcasters, starting your own podcast, and judging a book by page 119.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to read page 119 of a few books and see if people think they would like it.
Cool.
It sounds like fun.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So this week on my blog and my vlog, I was talking about problematic publishing, red flags to watch out for, because if you're on Twitter, you may have heard some stuff go down this week. On the podcast, Writing Tips and Writerly Musings, I was talking about what the writer needs to know, the brain and the body. Notes from a panel where doctors were telling us, you know, when they start shaking their fist at the at the book.
The internet? Okay, that's a book.
Because someone is getting it wrong. I had 2 author spotlights this week. I had a bonus one, partially because I'm so far behind. And all the books I've been reading and stuff like that are in the roundup. And Monday, tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, my friend Patrick and I will be doing another fundraiser for reproductive rights. If you believe in reproductive rights and have even $1 to spare, just let us know, and, you know, contribute to the reproductive rights organization of your choice. And if you want, you can also put in for us to rewrite live your query synopsis or first pages. Let us know. We have a lot of fun doing it. He yells at me about verbs and I tell him we need nouns. Otherwise, you can't verb without a noun.
Yeah, if you just love hearing him yell at people because their queries are wrong, then you should tune in and enjoy.
But it's all done with love.
Allegedly.
QT Cat says, unfortunately, they'll have to find someone else to write with. I will be back after that. I think I've missed 2 this whole year, if that.
Yeah, we don't usually take a Sunday off, but it happens.
I've done it from the road more than once. but I think right now I'm planning on attending 84 panels during 36 time slots. So I'm already bending space and time, and I just don't think I can squeeze it in.
Yeah.
So thank you all for coming. It was great to have you. I hope you got a little productivity done, a little snacking done, and I will be back in 2 weeks. So, for the rest of the evening. Okay. Let's see. Let me check out my Twitch and see if anybody is writing right now. So let's see. Oh, nobody's live right now. Unless you want to watch people play Destiny too, which is probably not. So good luck. Maybe I'll pop on later. I don't know. But have a great evening, and I'm so glad you all made it. Bye.